The pigs are picked up on a crane and placed inside the warehouse of the exporting company. After exporting pigs to different countries, they are shipped to factories in those countries. Now let's see how these pigs are processed into pork in the factory. As soon as pigs are brought to the factory, they are slaughtered by electrical discharge through special machines. The arteries in the pig's throat are then punctured to draw blood out of the body. The pig's hind legs are hung by hooks. These suspended pigs are then washed with hot water to wash away all the blood on their bodies, and the pig's coat can be easily removed. Feathers are picked up by a machine called a feather picker. After removing the hair, the pig is taken out of the plucking machine. After that, the workers again hung the pig through 2 hooks to make it easier to transport the pig. Then for a while, the pigs are burned in the fire so that the water of the pig's skin dries up and excess fur is burned. Then the pigs are inserted into the machine to clean the burnt fur. In these factories, pig fur is segregated with a lot of awareness. Usually pigs have a lot of body odor, so they need to be washed well. So the pig's body is washed in 3 steps. After washing during fur removal, they are washed again a second time. Then an automatic robot cuts their rear end. Another arm of this robot pulls out the pig's genitalia, which you can see on the screen. With another robot, the pig is cut from the middle of the belly to the end of the chest. The robot will first scan the pig's body and then start cutting to prevent the internal organs from being severed. The job of the automatic robot displayed on the screen is to cut the pig's back. Interestingly, this robot can slaughter 10 pigs every 2 minutes. That's more than 10,000 pigs slaughtered in one day. The robot's incision water is sprayed 3 times from the other side to wash away the cool blood inside the pig. As a result, pigs look exactly like this inside. Afterward, the pork is put into the cold store to freeze. The pork is frozen, resulting from this process. In this case, the temperature of the pork remains below 0 degrees Celsius. These frozen pork chops are cut into various pieces like ham, bacon, spare ribs, rump, jaws, and more. The workers first separate the pig's legs, then the ham and the... But it consumes a lot of electricity, so it's actually better to swap out the old school compressors for energy-efficient ones. We save energy and keep our meat just as fresh, and then heating and ventilation. They can be energy consumers too. By switching to energy-efficient heating systems and tricks like heat recovery, we can reduce energy bills without sacrificing anything. Upgrading the machinery to energy-efficient models and adding gadgets like automated controls can squeeze even more savings out of the factory. With real-time energy monitoring systems, we can keep tabs on our usage, catch any wasteful habits and stop them. Long story short, going green isn't just good for the planet, it's good for business too. By embracing energy-efficient practices and technologies, meat processing factories can save money, reduce their environmental footprint and stay ahead of the competition. Moving on, waste reduction in meat processing factories is another sustainable practice. These places are always bustling, so every little bit counts, but they can also generate a ton of waste if we're not careful. Luckily, there are some techniques we can use to cut down on all that excess. First up, let's talk about waste sorting and recycling. Think of it like separating your trash at home, but on a much bigger scale. By sorting out things like packaging materials and scraps, we can send them off to be recycled or reused instead of ending up in the landfill. Next, we've got waste minimization techniques. This is all about finding ways to produce less waste in the first place. It could be something as simple as changing the processes to generate fewer scraps or finding alternative uses for byproducts. For example, some factories might turn leftover animal parts into pet food or fertilizer instead of throwing them out. Then there's waste-to-energy technology. This is where all those leftover bits and pieces are taken and turned into power. We eliminate waste and generate electricity or heat to power the factory. And last, there's the reduce, reuse, and recycle. We can drastically reduce our waste output by cutting back on unnecessary packaging, reusing materials wherever possible, and recycling what we can't reuse. Moving on, instead of relying solely on fossil fuels and other non-renewable sources, these factories are turning to Earth for help. Take solar power, for example. By nailing some solar panels on their rooftops, factories can absorb all that sunshine and turn it into clean electricity. And let's remember wind power. Some factories are harnessing wind power by installing wind turbines nearby. But it's not just about generating power. It's also about being smart with it. That's where energy-efficient technologies come into play, from LED lighting to high-efficiency machinery. These factories squeeze every last drop of energy out of their operations. And the best part is that going green doesn't mean sacrificing production standards. It's quite the opposite. By embracing renewable resources and energy-efficient practices, factories can maintain high production standards while minimizing their environmental impact. Think about it. These factories can bring out top-quality goods with cleaner energy, powering their operations without leaving a big carbon footprint behind. It's a win-win for everyone, the planet, the factory, and consumers. One beautiful day at a tulip farm in the Netherlands, the farmers were preparing to start the process of harvesting tulip bulbs. However, this time they did not use traditional tools like hoes or rakes to dig up the tulip bulbs as before, but instead used modern machinery to help them harvest faster and more efficiently. The machine is equipped with advanced technologies to ensure speed and accuracy during the harvesting process. It is controlled by an intelligent processor, allowing it to automatically search and identify ripe tulip bulbs, then cut them out of the soil and place them on a conveyor belt. Once the tulip bulbs are on the conveyor belt, they are transferred to a workstation where laborers can check and determine the quality of each bulb. Bulbs that do not meet the requirements are discarded, while good quality tulip bulbs are packaged and shipped to stores around the world. This machine harvesting process not only helps farmers save time and labor, but also minimizes errors in the harvesting process. It also helps ensure that the harvested bulbs put up for sale are of the best quality, meeting the needs of customers around the world. Here is the process of harvesting red onions in the Netherlands. There are 2 steps to complete the onion harvesting process. Firstly, a harvesting machine will run through the onion beds to cut the leaves and lift the onions out of the ground, then stack them into rows. Next, a collection machine will work in parallel with a truck. The onions are picked clean and then dropped onto a conveyor belt that leads into the truck's container. In Chile, the harvesting of peaches has been mechanized to increase efficiency and reduce labor costs. Farmers often use machines such as peach cutters and peach pickers. The peach cutter can cut peaches from trees up to 5 meters high, remove peaches that do not meet the standards, and place them in a container. The peach picker is also very efficient, as it can pick peaches from the ground and quickly place them in a container. These machines not only increase efficiency and reduce labor costs, but also help protect the quality of the peaches by removing peaches that do not meet standards.